It's all right. That's all we gotta do. We're just gonna hang out here and talk and chill and get drunk.
I can smell that tequila.
So does he. That's what he was gonna say the whole time too. Yeah, this,
Stands the hair up on my fucking forearms.
this is the devil's dick.
Yeah, the hairs on my balls are standing.
It's spiked.
Mm. Oh yeah, that's so good. Oh yeah. Cheers! Cheers!
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, lemonade.
Don't do that.
Lemonade.
Got it, Spills?
You filled this so full.
Ah. I just worked out though, so I'm not
That's
gonna
what
try
you
to
said.
too fast.
That's good for.
Ew.
Oh, that's great
You
for
filled
working
this
out.
so full.
I never said that.
You've-
That means there's a max.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Oh Lord. Okay, here we go again. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Tipsy M podcast talking about the workshop for the Ren Fair we had last Saturday. It was a busy event, and I have with me Austin, also known as Big Money on Discord. We have Brandan, also known as Sharcolator of Discord. We have Brandi, also known as Smashalackin, and then we actually have Nikki over here, Queen Bee, sitting in the corner. She wasn't here so she's gonna listen in, just kind of, yeah, just be a beautiful flower on the wall. All right, and I am Liem, your Bard podcast host. Oh my god, I've only had like half a shot. So
You're drunk.
I'm getting there. Cut me off.
Got that workout.
I did. I just worked out, so I'm taking this slow. I'm trying to drink water, but that's a soda, so I'm not doing myself any favors right now. Anyway, so let's talk about that workshop day. It was Saturday, and it was a beautiful day. It was quite busy. Unexpectedly, there were so many bits and parts to it. Everybody had different views on it because it was separated two different parts. There was the patio outside, which held the leatherworking EVA foam staff making, and then there was over at Mayhem, which would had the flower crown, the mushroom hats, the dragon scales, and the sewing
And wands.
and wands.
And miscellaneous where people could bring their own pieces in and work on their own stuff or just grab extra materials.
Yeah. So there was a lot going on, and we were walking back and forth a lot. I got a lot of exercise that day.
We got our steps in.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go around the table and who was doing what. Let's start with Big Money.
Big Money over here. I was a floater. Just put out fires between both sides to where sometimes there were supplies that we had pretty much everything we needed, but sometimes it was at the other side of the workshop. So some of it was just moving that back and forth. We had
Communication between the two as well.
Yep, just talking between each other, so then you didn't have to leave your workshop. You could just ask me. And we had pizza when we were hosting the event here at the University Tavern too. So
I never got a slice of pizza.
you were busy.
I was super busy. We'll talk about my section later. What about you, Brandon? What did you do?
I was with Liam in the leatherworking section. I was helping we made some bracelets. Actually, I think everyone made a bracelet in leatherworking. I don't think much else got made. We made some pouches.
There was a lot of pouches.
That guy came in, he made his vest.
Yep.
Yeah. He said he'd been working on a vest. He started like 16 years ago, and this was the inspiration he needed to like keep working on it. So
did he get very far with it? I didn't really catch it.
He did.
Yeah, he added some grommets and some little rivets and stuff. We didn't quite have what he needed to like do the best stuff, but like really he was the star of the show for a bit.
It was sturdier afterwards, so his was farther than everybody else's.
Gotcha. Okay.
He definitely got further along, but yeah, it was cool working the station and being there pretty much the whole time, and it was a really good time. Like, it was great.
What else did you do? And I know you. No, not what you did for the workshop, but what did you do for like crafting? Did you craft anything else?
Yeah, I mean, after the workshop, I went and I started making a mushroom hat. But it was pretty late. I was getting kind of tired, so I ended up dipping halfway. So I'm gonna have to finish that with Jackie sometime. She promised that we could finish the mushroom hats because I really want that for her.
So you're gonna wear a mushroom hat and a flower crown?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to put the crown on top of the mushroom hat.
Ooh,
like
flowery mushroom.
Yeah, I kind of want to do like a double decker, like a mushroom cap that's not just like round, but has the little like the nipple on top mushroom, and I'll put the crown right on top of there.
Very nice. What color is your mushroom hat?
I mean, I'm gonna do the red with white spots. It's a classic, the
Ooh.
classic what is it? Fly Amanita?
Amanita
Yeah.
Muscura.
Toad.
Toadstool. Yeah.
Toadstool. Yeah.
Again, very
Maybe I
specific.
should paint myself green too. I'll just be a big frog under a toadstool.
Hey, the theme is forest, so we can definitely. I can go however you want with that. What about you, Randy? What did you do?
I ran around and pretty much made myself needed anywhere, asked people how things are going. I did that a lot. I introduced myself to a lot of people. I got pulled into things here and there to help out. I helped this new person do their mushroom hat, and so that was an experience. There was a lot of laughing and joking, and I felt pretty accomplished afterwards. But yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like I actually did anything because I just was filled the whole time communicating and checking on things. I mean, I do have to say every single craft I did step in and help someone, even the staff carving. I stepped in, I helped people find different things, but I don't know, it went by really fast. And honestly, it picked up really quickly at the tavern for those workshops. Mayhem at first there was really like not anybody, but then finally like it started picking up there too. And something we didn't realize is how much time it would take with certain people. So I know Oz, who was running the dragon scales, he had 3 people, and that was pretty much taken. He had more than 3 people, but 3 people took a lot of his time. So we got to learn a lot from this event and how to do better and how to probably split it up because there was quite a bit of workshops and quite a bit of people. We weren't. I mean, we were prepared, but we also weren't. So yeah, it was.
Bye, Gremlin.
It was good. Bye, Jackie.
Yeah, I definitely call it a prototype.
Yeah.
Of going.
Yeah, and we also didn't get
test
a
run.
chance to like fully run through the craft everyone was doing. That was an area that there was just a gap. We just didn't have time. It just didn't work out. And I know that would have improved things a lot because there was a lot of trial and error. Like we're figuring out the mushroom hats at the same time as the people were teaching. But I think that made it more fun too because we're just like figuring it out together. So no one felt any type of way about not getting it. And we'd have to pivot a lot. And so you have to really use your brain, and then everyone has a different idea of how they want to do stuff. So you were mentioning you want to do like more of the basic mushroom. My stepmom, my dad actually showed up. My stepmom made a mushroom and hers is green. She needs to finish hers as well. She's pretty exhausted by the end of it. But yeah, I thought it was really cool how everyone added their own flair. And Dawn, Allie's mom, was making these bottle holders or these wine bottle holders, and she made me one. I wanted to get over
They were
there.
really nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I really love that purple. Purple is my favorite color. And then I went back over and she had made me one with a really cool, like, galaxy black starry night inside. And it made my whole entire night. It fits me absolutely perfectly, and it's not super hard to make either. So that was honestly a highlight of my night.
We took a little bit trying to figure out what the best sewing craft could be because we wanted it to still be fun, but not something that would take forever because sewing can kind of be intimidating if you hadn't done it before. So we went with that because it can be done in like 10, 15 minutes, depending on the kind. A lot of it was just choosing what kind of patterns you wanted. And then we had everything prepped for you ready anyway.
We all try to go with the most simplest crafting idea we could go with for each workshop, but I know a lot of them ended up being very extensive. Like I know Oz's, you only had 3 people, but it was difficult because it's a very detail oriented, tedious, but and also orientation. Like you have to be very dexterous to work with it as well.
Just takes
And
a lot of time.
it does, and a lot of the workshops end up being like that, but that's okay because this is arts and crafts on a higher level. We're getting ready for the Ren Fair. It's going to require, a lot more investment of time and energy, but we supplied the resources and the people so that way people could at least get started. And I think that was pretty much the main objective, and I think we hit that really well. I did helped out with the leather, and then I focused on the staffs afterward. Yeah, my it was. I didn't realize how leather working was that popular. I got like 6 people right off the bat. Like one person showed up, and then 5 more showed up right afterwards, and we were struggling to.
Just ran out of room.
We just ran out of room and tools because I did not expect it to be that pack stuff quickly. And so we had to pass around tools, and I couldn't find my tools, and then it became a whole situation.
It's pretty niche. I think that a lot of people always wondered about it, but never actually got the chance to try it. So I think that's why a lot of people lean towards it. A lot of people think of sewing as not as grand or something like that, but it feels very Ren Fairy to work with leather.
Yeah, it does. And it actually is very easy and versatile, but the problem is you need the right tools to make it much more simple and kind of uh, more detailed, because one of the biggest problems we came across was embossing, because I didn't have all the right tools to emboss as well. And then the tools we did end up having, someone always had one of the tool pieces, and so it was a bit of a situation.
We were passing things back and forth and making a mess of the table. By the end of the night, it was just scattered around everywhere.
But I will say one thing I noticed though was that people started helping each other out. That I wasn't even there. I was holding so many directions, but every time I did come back, other people were helping each other with the leather working, and I think that was super cool to see. That I know you were. I think Rannick was there helping out and like showing people how to do simple things, and then just all the people just helping each other out with the leather working. So that was really cool to see.
Which that's the sense community we were trying to go for too, is
Mhm.
where a lot of the imps that were already a part of it kind of led by example with that, and then everybody just started to work together.
Yeah. And then we had quite a few helpers too, though. So we had runners, we had a lot of people helping out in lots of areas. Night Squeaker, Allie over there, was running around with the camera everywhere, taking a ton of pictures. So I'll post a bunch of those out. I need to go through all those. I have so much editing to do. But all right, so what would be your favorite craft idea? Like, what do you want to do for the Ren Fair? Because I know we all have a different workshop, and we all wanted to do stuff, but we didn't actually get a chance to go around and do a lot of other crafting as well. I kind of want to do some dragon scale. Never got around to that. Let's start over here. Let's start back with Brandi. Is there anything that you wanted to craft?
I wanted to make a mushroom hat. I also never got a chance to make a flower crown. I organized a lot of this stuff, so I wanted to actually participate. I actually like all of the crafts. I wanted to do all of them, but there's just not enough time to do it. But at least we have the instructions documented out. We have resources still if we're still interested in it. I know we're gonna definitely be doing some of those workshops during game nights, when we have game nights 3 times a month, and then one game night out of that month is more craft oriented, and so we'll pick a designated craft. And so my plan is to add some of that stuff and do it at on a game night, and be a little bit more prepared. So I'm hoping I get an opportunity to do it, because we didn't get to flex a lot of the leaders or volunteers around like I wanted either. So for me, I don't really have a favorite, because I literally wanted to do it all. I've never carved a staff. I want one. I've never done any leather working, and I love pouches to add to my belt. I honestly, for the day of the event, I bought leather pouches and accessories just so I can get a feel and a see for different looks I want to do. So I'm really interested in all of it. So I'm looking forward to being able to do that game nights, but also fall Ren Fair, prepping for that. I think we're to have a lot of opportunity to either continue things or add more, but definitely less than one day, just so we can really get through to everyone.
And focus.
Yeah, focus a little bit more and have the proper space. Having it at the tavern next time fully, I think, is a good idea. We talked about
Just
reserving
one or two crafts.
some parking spaces, putting some canopies up, having it more at the bar. Because at Mayhem, you can't even have booze. That's not the theme by any means. But
Crafting and
people
booze.
didn't know that that at Mayhem we were having some of them, and you can't have booze there. So I know that was kind of like a downer for a couple people. So we learned a lot. But yeah, I can't really pick one.
What about you, Brandon? What do you want to do? What's one thing you really wanted to get?
I mean, I really wanted to make a mushroom hat, and I didn't quite get to finish it, but I will definitely be completing it. I think. I mean, do we want to talk about crafts for like next year and stuff?
No. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I mean, maybe dragon scale stuff, but that just takes so long. I don't know if I'll find the time right now, since I'm sitting at the event. So, what about you, Austin?
I wanted to learn how to do the dragon skills, but more for learning the basics of it, and then to be able to do more on my own with it. Because that's the nice thing with the crafts too, is other than the ones with because that just took basic tools of like needle nose plier, and then you get the supplies yourself, you can do it. Where some of them took a little bit more, where like leatherworking you need the tools for it, or sewing it's nicer to have like the actual sewing machine.
Oh yeah.
But like I like that one because you could learn it, bring it home, and then like keep going with it.
that was funny. Like at Mayhem, um, the word was tossed around. It looked like a workshop. Like it looked like a production line.
Sweatshop, yeah. It looked like we were actually like mainlining products through it. Yeah.
Santa's little helpers are just working, making a bunch of toys over there.
Yeah, that's the real goal, right? We need to get people over here so we can mass produce trinkets.
Mass produced trinkets. I love it. Okay, so what is there anything that you guys think that should have been added or maybe taken, like maybe do some other time? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think leatherworking could definitely do belts pretty easily if we could get that like other material, like in some like rustic buckles and stuff. That could be like another really straight. Because we just did bracelets, which was like minimal material, and it was like pretty cool. But I think if people wanted to spend more time on one thing, if we did something like a belt and got better prepared for the embossing situation, it could definitely be a cool idea.
We could open up a blacksmith on the porch.
Ooh,
a little forge.
metalworking.
We'll just set the whole porch on fire. That'll be a nice.
No. Yeah, we have a furnace and everything. It'll be fine.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it'll be fine. We can cook pizzas in it.
a stone oven.
Yeah, so we can
metalworking.
multi-purpose it. Yeah.
That would be dope. So what were some of the highlights? What do you guys think was some of the highlights that from the workshop day? Any thoughts? I'm asking you guys.
I think one of the highlights of it was a lot of people that hadn't been out yet came and got exposure to it. And it was a lot of mixing of that crowd and then a lot of the regulars from the bar too really got excited to do the crafts. Because a lot of and it usually on craft nights, it's a lot of the girls getting involved doing some of the crafts where we had at least 3 of the regular guys jump in on some of
I
the
did
crafts
see
too.
some of the regulars.
Yeah, because one of them, Vance, did the leatherworking like the best,
Yeah.
like he was talking about. One of them went over to make a staff, and then one guy went over and did some of the dragon, like was gonna do some dragon skills, but I think he got a little intimidated by it. But he enjoyed being there. He kind of gave up, but he enjoyed hanging out and talking over there. So that was nice. I thought that was really cool to just see the growth of like people that are nervous to join the community. Having something like that was a little more accessible for them. Of like, this is something I would be interested in trying, rather than some of the other crafts that we've done in the past that they weren't really sure about.
I like that. No, that's a good take.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a good vibe overall. Like, it's hard for me to say what was really the highlight because I was kind of stuck by my booth the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. I think some of the other crafts at Mayhem, the mushroom hats and the scale working, were like really, really well done and well thought out. So I think I was just like super impressed when I went over there and saw what everyone was doing.
What about you?
I would say the highlight for me was, I think the amount of support we had was unreal. I mean, just help through the whole thing. I mean, there was a lot of people that just stepped in last minute, like Allie's mom. She stepped in, she helped support the flower crowns. We did that for a game night the Sunday before. And a lot of people just stepped up and donated things. We even had people handing us cash, like just to donate towards stuff. And, that's uncomfortable, like you don't really want to take it, but these people insisted. And it would be a regular or someone just random that sees what we're doing and just loves it, loves the fact that we're just volunteering and this is just something we are doing because we're passionate about it. There's just something about that that's unique and beautiful, and no matter how this would have turned out, I know that we would have made the most of it. And so we didn't have a lot of expectations towards the end. I mean, I couldn't even see that there was a lot of people registered. Most of the attendance was people just walking up, which we figured would happen. It was just really cool. We're just doing our thing, and then someone just walks up, was like, "What are you guys doing here? What's going on?" And then you could tell them, and then they would join. It's like they didn't probably think they'd be spending their Saturday doing that, but here they are, and then they're making friends. So that was my favorite part, is just people connecting, people stepping up, bringing community together, and just doing it for the love of it. That was honestly super great. So it made me really proud, honestly. But for all the workshops, I know we kind of had too much going on, but for me, I can't really music kind of just increase. But for the amount of workshops for me, I can't even say that I would want to like not do one if I could change things or say less, because all of them were special. Honestly, the miscellaneous table was probably the most one that didn't have a lot of attention, but I'm still grateful it was there because it had the odds and ends of supplies that maybe a workshop didn't have. It was there as an option. I can't really pick. It's so hard because they were all like had their moments and people, but I was definitely surprised, like you, in the participation of the leatherworking and stuff. That was really cool to see. And now that we know that, those ones can be their own event. And the EVA armor one, the foam armor, didn't get as much attendance as we thought, but that one had a max amount. It was more like of a commitment because if you signed up for it, it would take the full time. But I know there's a lot of people interested in that. And originally we were going to have that be its own event. And I do think we should do that because we only had, I think, 2 people, father and son. Travis was leading the event. He did an awesome job. He honestly loved that he could work really closely with them. It was a bonding moment for them as a family, then plus Travis to be able to be a part of that and show them. It was still very much a success. But yeah, I definitely think some of these need to be their own thing, not even just like a game night situation, like their own event, just because of how much interest is in it. And so now we know that, and so we can feel confident in having those events.
Definitely a good learning experience. One of my highlights, I would say, is like after seeing someone complete their craft. That was probably the funnest. They were so proud and happy to show it off. I know the 2 girls that they're newer. They finished their staves and they were so happy to show it off. Like they did some great decorations, and then they were able to leather wrap their handles, and it was really cool to see. They were super happy about that. I saw people are very happy showing off their dragon scales. I saw mushroom hats being shown off. Yeah, just seeing people very happy finishing up their craft. So yeah, I would love to see more like able to finish at least one craft instead of having, because there was just so many workstations. You have something to add?
Yeah, there was one person that did finish her mushroom hat, and she loved it. She spent the entire time on it.
I think that's the girl that I met that I befriended that's never
Yeah.
been to a Ren fair, that's
And she
new
was
to
like-
Iowa, just moved here. And
Yeah.
she's actually, I think, going to join us on the 9th, but
Yeah.
she had a blast.
She was so excited.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I think I remember her over at the leather
Yep.
station, and I could not help her because she was one of the first ones there, but we were still just getting set up, and then we were getting ambushed by so many people, so it just became a whole thing. So I felt a little bad not being able to help her finish a leather. I think she finally did finish the leather bracelet with Brandon's help, but yeah, it was one of those that definitely will rework that leather station for next time.
Was there someone during the staff? I think you mentioned this to me. I don't really recall specifically. Like I said, I would step in and help randomly. But there was this one girl that was kind of defeated, not defeated with her staff, but at a stop, like a point where she had to do something maybe different. And I just came over and gave her some ideas and showed her some leather cord wrapping and some different charms and gems. And I like reignited that creativity spark in her. Because, you set out with a plan to maybe have a certain look to what you're doing, and things happen, it may not work out. And so that was something that was really special for me to just kind of pop in there and just be like, hey, look at these vintage charms, look at some of these different colored cords. And then of course she says she wants to pick the purple color, and that's my favorite color, so we just hit it off from there. So that was really cool because she was bummed, and then by the end of it she was obsessed with her staff. So I know Liam's, I think she was waiting on Liam some too, and so she was just kind of sitting there, and then I'm just like, hey, look at all this stuff.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, Taylor. I don't remember exactly, but Ryan helped out with the staff because he saw power tools and he was like, ooh, I get to drill holes. And so he definitely jumped on that and helped out me out with that because I was doing the angle grinding and shaving off stuff, but then he started drilling holes. It became a whole thing and was really fun. We did it all the way till like 9 o'clock. It was dark out. We had to bust out the car lights and everything.
We had car lights looking like it was a 80s workshop outside in the parking lot.
The lights it was a whole situation. I hope we got some good videos or pictures of that. But all right, well, there you go. That is a lot of the workshop stuff that happened. So we have a lot of things to learn and work on. I guess one last question. Is there anything you think that we could do differently for next time?
I think mixing it in, like Brandi had said, with doing it, now that we found out which workshops would take a little bit longer, the ones that are like those might be a little bit better fit for the one dayers of this is the only thing we're doing that day. So then it feels like everybody's in it together. You have the full amount of time. Everybody's committed to doing that one thing already anyway. Where the workshop one, having the smaller ones like we did with the sewing and like with the wand making and some of the even the leatherworking, where it's I can do this in like 30 minutes to an hour, so I can still pick 2 or 3 other things, so you get little pieces, like more than one trinket to be able to go around. I think that's more of the flow. But we were just trying. We didn't know how long some of them were going to take. The only one we knew was going to take a while was like the mushroom hats and the EVA one. We didn't really know how long the other ones were going to take. So
Yeah.
I think that was a good lesson learned that I didn't expect to learn from it.
Yeah, I think next time we'll just have better focus. We'll have a better idea of how long certain things take and how many resources to dedicate to certain areas. I mean, maybe like you said, we'll put things in certain days and dedicate a whole day to like when we did flower crowns on Sunday. It was really fun to see everybody all together because you can get
Oh, the flower
Uh,
crown. Yeah,
yeah.
that dedicated day to it. Yeah,
on
that was fun.
Sunday when it was all flower crowns. We just had a big pile of flowers and foliage in the middle of the table, and everyone's passing things around and asking about stuff. So. Yeah, sometimes if we had a more focused day to do something like that and just get everybody in on it and have it prepared for that many people, a lot of the leatherworking and stuff, and even the miscellaneous. I'm sure we ended up just doing a lot of like little trinkets. And if we want to do something bigger, more focused, again, right? Like we just have a better idea of what we want to put into different areas, different dedicated days, and yeah, just like a better idea of bigger and grander projects to do on something like that.
I remember that. Yeah, game night 26. If you guys want to see the pictures from that, that is definitely the day to do it. To check out those images. So check it out. That we also dressed up that day too. Got some great pictures with the backdrop.
Those were really good.
Anything from you? Anything to...
I agree with what Brandon said. I think, and what Austin said. I think we should have, we meant to, we know now we need to run through the craft once to get that time. We know the materials. We also have the experience of doing it all the way through. That seems obvious that maybe we should have done that, but there was a lot of prep that went into this, and this is our first time. And I think it did bring an interesting aspect to it. Like I said, making people work together and use their creativity. And I think that was kind of more fun figuring it out with the people. But in addition to just having it at the tavern, like all the workshops at the tavern, besides that, I think on the back end, I think having a better registration process. There was just a couple like weird things, nothing that was like super bad or anything, but for me, I did not have visibility like I wanted or we hoped, and so that's why we learned about this. So that was something that was difficult because we couldn't promote it properly. The QR code was of a flyer on Facebook, and how do you scan it when you're scrolling your feed and you see, and then we'd put the link, but then the link was like so big. It was a whole thing. But for me, the registration, like the sign up process, so we have a better idea of what's incoming. And then, of course, more promotional things because we can only post so much. But I think it would be cool to get some flyers around and do better to get people excited. But at least when we go to Ren Fair as a group, I'm personally going to be promoting, hey, in the fall, follow our page, stay tuned. We're going to be having some workshops. I have a lot of connection at Ren Fair. Actually, we went to the Ames Ren Fair not last weekend, but the weekend before. And we talked with some vendors, just, shopping around. And there was actually a couple vendors that were interested in saying, hey, if you want us to come, on a game night or do a craft like event, like I said, volunteer. Like people that just freaking love this. Like I'm not asking them to come. They're offering. They're like, hey, I want to do this. So this particular family does outdoor paint on mats, welcome mats, and it was just some cool stuff. Like they had Pokemon ones, they had all kinds of cool things. So I was like, dang, that would be fun for a craft at a game night. And she literally immediately was like, yeah, let me know. Here's my card. So I think that's so cool. I know some vendors at the Sleepy Hollow one. I'm excited to talk to them and collaborate a little bit, build these relationships, which is why we had some of the crafts at Mayhem, because we want to build that relationship and we love what Mayhem does and what they're about. And we couldn't really advertise Mayhem, but we are really happy that we were able to cooperate with them and have that space. Even though it is first come, first serve, I'm very grateful for that. And I did just want to quickly add to anyone listening that participated or helped or anything like that. Thank you so much, because it's because of you guys that went well. It's not because of me. It's not because of what we did as a tavern. It's what we did as a community and as people. And so I'm so thankful. Thank you for everyone that participated. And even if you had a small piece to no piece, thank you.
All right, and one last thing from me was that I I think that not to do differently, but something to add is the day before the Ren Fair, we do a small craft workshop for miscellaneous to accessorize all the things and crafts and just accentuate, accessorize, kind of upgrade all the pieces that people might have. So a craft day right before, like a day or two right before the Ren Fair, for the 9th. I think that'll be a good day for people to get together and just kind of doodle and bubbles and whatever, have fun, just kind of decorating their stuff for the Ren Fair. All right, there you go. This has been another great episode of the Tipsy and Pulse podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.